I watched my father, a successful dentist for over 30 years, lose everything at age 75 because no one helped him coordinate his financial decisions properly. After spending decades building a career in dentistry, taking on debt, going through all that schooling, and finally settling into retirement, he still wasn't financially secure. Everything he and my mom had worked for was at risk. I had to stop everything. My business, my family, my personal goals for nearly 18 months just to coordinate a solution that would protect what he and my mom had spent their entire lives building. I missed time with my small children that I'll never recover. The emotional toll was massive, not just for me, but for my father too. He never intended to put that burden on me, and yet that's what happened. Have you ever wondered what would happen if all the financial decisions you're making today aren't properly aligned for the long term? The second major challenge I faced, and one of my clients experienced too, was the overwhelming complexity of coordinating financial decisions when time was critical. When I stepped in to help my dad, I had to pull from multiple financial resources, and while each offered something helpful, it wasn't in a clear order or a unified strategy, just fragmented advice. This same chaos faces doctors and dentists coming out of school with upwards of $500,000 in debt. You're trying to launch a career and need to make the right financial decisions in the right order, but the tools and advisors available to you are rarely coordinated. You know what's at stake. I've seen it firsthand, but getting the right guidance feels nearly impossible. Despite having the solution that could help doctors, dentists, and medical professionals avoid what happened to my father, I struggled to reach and engage with the people who needed it most. I'd make 40, 50, sometimes 80 outreach attempts just to get one response or get hung up on entirely. The level of rejection was exhausting. What's the real cost of this connection gap? For the professionals I'm trying to help, it's potentially millions in lost wealth and years of unnecessary stress. For me, it was watching more families heading down the same path my father took, toward a retirement that wasn't secure or sustainable. After nearly 2 years of pausing my life to protect everything my parents had built, I was emotionally spent but still driven. I grew up watching my dad, a high-performing dentist, and my mom, who managed his practice, do everything right, or so we thought, until I realized how wrong it had gone behind the scenes. The turning point came during a conversation with a close friend. After hearing about the emotional and logistical chaos I'd been through, he looked at me and said, "Matt, why don't you just do this for dentists, for medical professionals? There are thousands of them graduating every year who are walking the exact same path, completely unaware of what's coming. You could help them avoid all this." That comment hit me hard. It shifted my entire mindset. I realized I wasn't just solving a problem for my family. I had uncovered a repeatable system that could help thousands of professionals avoid the same fate. It wasn't just about business success anymore. It became about legacy. It became about honoring my parents by using what I learned to help others. That's when I knew I had to codify this system and share it. You might be thinking, that won't happen to me. But here's what most doctors and dentists don't realize. The decisions you make in the first 5 years after graduation determine your financial trajectory for the next 30 years. Once I realized I could help thousands of medical professionals avoid the pain my family went through, I got to work. This wasn't just a business idea. It became a purpose, a calling. I invested tens of thousands of dollars in every ounce of energy I had in developing this system. I spent years interviewing and partnering with experts in tax, finance, insurance, and asset protection. I tested strategies, learned what worked, and more importantly, who actually listened. Because this isn't about pushing products. It's about crafting custom strategies with what clients truly want for themselves and their families. One of the biggest obstacles was building a blueprint from scratch using my own experience, my father's story, and everything I learned along the way. I was creating something that could take what originally took me years and compress it into a turnkey, plug-and-play system that a doctor, dentist, or medical professional could implement in weeks. I had to go through extensive trial and error to build a team committed to delivering fully customized, compassionate financial solutions that protect assets, eliminate debt, and put professionals on the path to the lifestyle they actually want, not the one dictated by debt and burnout. It was difficult, and now it's dialed in. My struggle to connect with doctors and dentists who needed my help finally shifted when I met a 28-year-old dentist fresh out of school with $250,000 of student loan debt. He resonated deeply with my dad's story and didn't want to end up in the same position. We started by listening, truly understanding his situation and what he wanted, not just financially, but in his life. From there, we built a fully customized strategy aligned with his goals. Within just 18 months, not only is he on track to eliminate his debt 7 years faster than the standard plan, but he's already preparing to buy his own practice. The best part? He's now positioned to structure his career with intention. He won't be tied to the chair for 30 plus years like my dad. He has options, the freedom to choose when and how he works. That's the difference. Our work gave him clarity and control early on so he could chart his own path, not have it dictated by debt and pressure. That transformation from fear and uncertainty to freedom and choice is what drives me every day. The second challenge, coordinating truly customized strategies for professionals, transformed into a system that works for medical professionals at any stage of their career. Take Dr. Sarah, for example. She was not fresh out of school when she reached out after hearing my story. She was mid-career, running her practice, while recovering from past debt and raising 2 young kids. Life had thrown her some curveballs, but when she raised her hand and said, "I want to figure this out," my team listened carefully and reverse engineered a plan specifically for her situation. Within 14 months, she'd restructured her debt, increased her take-home pay by 22%, and most importantly, she told me, she now has the time and peace of mind to be present for her kids. This experience cemented something powerful in our operations. This is not a one-size-fits-all program. Our system works, whether you're at the beginning of your journey or midway through it. It's never too late to regain control and chart a path forward. To understand how my most painful challenge transformed, you have to go back to that moment when I got the call. You need to come home. It's time to help mom and dad. I got on a flight, and when I walked into the hospital room, my dad was slumped over in a chair, head down. When he looked up at me, he didn't say hello. He just said, "I didn't want it to be this way." That moment cut deep. It changed me forever. My dad did everything he thought was right, worked hard, served patients with excellence, built a practice with my mom, but the foundation was never secured. He didn't know what he didn't know. And by the time the house of cards fell, it was too late to fix it on his own. Today, when I visit my dad, now in his 80s, in a state-run facility, the circumstances are hard, but there's peace. He sees my face, my kids' faces, and he knows we're okay. He knows I've taken what we went through and turned it into something meaningful. And that's why I help doctors, dentists, and medical professionals build their lives with intention from the beginning so they can live the lifestyle they worked so hard for. My dad had it for a while, but now others can do it for the long haul. And that's the most meaningful transformation of all. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I use a proven blueprint to help doctors, dentists, and medical professionals eliminate debt faster, keep more of what they earn, and earn more of what they make with certainty. You're probably wondering, what makes us different from everything else out there? The answer is simple. We listen. My team and I take the time to understand what matters most to you, and we only move forward if we can prove we'll add value to your life and your family's life with certainty. Not just hope, with certainty. Our system is designed to optimize your income and your savings so that you not only build financial security, but also maintain full control over your path forward no matter what happens. This is not guesswork. This is a 4-step process that delivers results. And now I'm going to walk you through exactly how we do it step by step. The first crucial step is what I call the shield. And here's why. You do not get a do-over when it comes to the big risks: liability, disability, and death. Before we talk about building wealth, before we optimize income or attack debt, we need to protect the machine that makes it all possible. And that machine is you. Let's start with liability. You're a doctor or a dentist. Your name's on the building. Everyone knows you've made it. But what happens if someone sues you? There are 30 million lawsuits filed every year, one every 36 seconds. And the average award is $1.8 million. If your net worth crosses $5 million, there's an 80% chance you'll get sued at some point. What have you done to make sure one lawsuit doesn't wipe out everything you've built? Then there's disability. You spent what feels like 500 years in school to master your craft. If you couldn't use your hands anymore, if you couldn't do what you trained your whole life to do, what's your plan? If you had a money machine in your basement printing cash every day, you'd protect it at all costs. You are the money machine. Without protection, your entire career would be over in an instant. And finally, death. I know it's hard to think about, but if you've got a family, if you have people counting on you, do you want them to carry on your hopes and dreams or struggle to survive without you? Walking out of this life without protection is the same thing as walking out of the house and leaving your family behind. That's why the shield is step 1. Everything else comes after. Why this step is important. The shield is absolutely non-negotiable because without it, everything else can vanish in an instant. I mean, think about it. Who becomes a doctor or dentist and doesn't insure themselves? Your name is on the building. Everyone knows who you are. Everyone assumes you're rich. That makes you a target. Take my dad, for example. He played college football on scholarship, and he told me once, Matt, I didn't even realize until I was a junior in college that if I got hurt, if something happened to my hands, I'd never be a dentist. That shook me. The entire reason he played football was to pay for dental school, and yet one injury could have ended the dream before it began. This is real life. You don't get a do-over with catastrophic risks. If you're earning $300K, $400K, $500K or more, and you get in an accident, maybe someone T-bones you through no fault of your own, and you end up in the hospital, best case, you're out of work for months. Worst case, you never practice again. What happens then? You're back to square one. As Dr. James, an orthopedic surgeon from Texas, told me, I never realized how exposed I was until we did the shield assessment. Now I sleep better at night knowing my family and practice are fully protected. Actions to take today. Here are 3 specific actions you can take today to begin implementing the shield. Review your existing protection. Start by identifying any gaps in your current coverage, especially around catastrophic risks like death, disability, and liability. Ask yourself, if something happened to me today, would my family be okay? Would my business survive? Would I be able to recover financially? Most people have something, but it's often outdated, insufficient, or misaligned with their actual risks. Don't just talk to a salesperson. You could throw a rock online and hit 100 people trying to sell you an insurance policy. That's not what you need. What you need is someone who will take a holistic view of your entire situation and make sure that your protection is customized to your needs, not a cookie-cutter product. Begin with a blueprint, not a product. This is about building a long-term system that allows you to protect your future, keep more of what you earn, and earn more of what you make with certainty. That starts by ensuring your protection strategy fits into the bigger plan. So find someone who will align protection with your goals, not just sell you something and disappear. The second crucial step is what I call the river. Once you've put the shield in place, the next move is gaining control over your money. Not just earning it, but managing it with precision. Here's the truth. If you're a dentist or a doctor or a medical professional, you graduate and immediately start earning a substantial paycheck. That's great, but it also makes you vulnerable to something called lifestyle creep. It's human nature. The more money we make, the more we spend. It's not good or bad, it just is. So if we want to build certainty, we've got to manage our cash flow properly. And that comes down to 3 specific things. 1, asynchronous income and expenses. Your income and your expenses must not mirror each other. We structure it so your income is flowing faster and more efficiently than your outflows, creating margin. 2, automation. 80 to 90% of your cash flow management should be automated. When this is dialed in, there's less friction, fewer decisions, and more consistency. 3, timely data. You need access to clear, updated information about your financial picture at any given time. If you can't measure it, you cannot manage it. This is where we shift from reactive to proactive, and from surviving to scaling. Have you ever wondered why some doctors seem to make less than you, but somehow have more freedom and less financial stress? Why this step is important. The river is critical because even if you're fully protected by the shield, if you don't have control over your income and expenses, you're flying blind. Without clarity on your cash flow, it does not matter how much you make. You'll always feel uncertain. Income and expenses must be asynchronous. As a doctor, dentist, medical professional, you likely start earning a sizable paycheck early, but if you're not careful, your expenses will rise to match your income. This is lifestyle creep. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. We build separation between what you earn and what you spend so that you always maintain financial margin. When you automate 80 to 90% of your finances, saving becomes default. You don't have to try to save. You have to opt out of that. That's the key. By automating deposits into a personal reservoir, your savings, you're already building wealth in the background while your life moves forward. Timely data is everything. If you can't see what's happening with your money in real time, you'll second guess every move. I watched my dad come home from a long day in the chair, eat dinner, and then sit at the table with spreadsheets trying to figure out if he can make any financial decisions. Day after day, year after year, that wore him down. One of our clients, Dr. Lisa, put it perfectly. For the first time in my career, I feel like I'm in control of my money instead of it controlling me. The difference is night and day. Actions to take today. Here are 3 specific actions you can take today to begin implementing the river. Create a reservoir account. Most people have their paycheck deposit directly into their checking account, and that's backward. You need to flip the script. Set up a separate savings or holding account, what we call your reservoir, where all inflows go first. Your paycheck, bonus, side income, business profits, whatever it is. This builds momentum in one centralized location before you deploy the funds outward. From there, you can direct money to fixed expenses, lifestyle expenses, savings goals. It gives you control before the money disappears. Automate all inflows into the reservoir. Make sure every single dollar you earn is automatically routed into that reservoir. That way, you're saving by default and only spending with intention. No more accidental overspending because your checking account looks flush. Get timely, trackable data. You cannot manage what you cannot see. You do not want to be buried in spreadsheets trying to reconcile your finances after a long day at the office. That's what wore my dad down. With our system, you get instant access to automated, real-time cash flow data. You'll know exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and how much is available to deploy at a glance. This is how we turn income into freedom and into clarity. The third crucial step is what I call the foundation. Let's start with the debt side. We look at every piece of debt in your life and ask, is this good debt or bad debt? Can we automatically eliminate the bad debt? If not, can we restructure it into something better? Most people underestimate just how much bad debt slows down their ability to build wealth. You're trying to pay off loans while also trying to invest. And meanwhile, corporations, investment firms are lining up to take your money without caring about your full financial picture. You're getting hit with ads left and right, mutual funds, stocks, real estate, yet no one's helping you assess your foundation. Once we've tackled the debt side and created positive cash flow, now we talk about wealth building. What do you want to do? Let's help you become a better investor. Not just someone throwing money at whatever pops up on social media or CNBC. You need to know how to grow your wealth in ways that 1, mitigate risk, 2, accelerate debt payoff, and 3, align with your timeline and goals. Because here's the truth. Most doctors, dentists, and medical professionals do not want to work until they're 65. But even worse, selling a practice only to have the deal fall apart or stretch into years of financing stress, that happened to my dad, and it's far too common. The foundation helps you avoid that and sets you up for true financial independence. What's the real cost of waiting to build your foundation properly? For my father, it was everything he'd worked for. Why this step is important. The foundation is critically important, and it must happen in the right order. You cannot skip this step. In fact, you can't even build wealth properly until you've addressed the debt. That's why we call it the foundation, not the other way around. Most people try to do this backwards, and that's where everything breaks down. We've been living in an era for the past 50 plus years where debt has been normalized. Unlike in my grandfather's day, where taking on debt was a serious, deliberate act, now it's just tap, click, sign, and the money hits your account instantly. That casual mindset around debt is dangerous. If you're constantly sending money out to pay down debt while also trying to build wealth, you're basically leaving yourself wide open for financial confusion and pressure. On the wealth building side, you've got to ask yourself, do I want to sit in this chair and see patients forever? Most doctors and dentists, medical professionals will say no. But if you're putting money in places that lock it away from you, no access, no flexibility, you're locking yourself into that chair for life. On the flip side, if you direct your money to places where you have freedom, flexibility, and control, you give yourself the power to step away on your terms, to exit the chair, sell your practice the right way, and protect your time, energy, and future. The foundation gives you both a solid base and a real exit strategy. Dr. Michael, who implemented our system 3 years ago, recently told me, I've paid off $180,000 in student loans and have more in savings than I ever thought possible. For the first time, I can see a clear path to financial independence, and it's not 30 years away. Actions to take today. Here are 3 specific actions you can take today to begin implementing the foundation. Know exactly where your debts are. Get every loan, every balance, every interest rate out of your financial junk drawer and into the light. You need to have your head, heart, and hands wrapped around the full picture, not just ballpark guesses. You need certainty, the amount, the interest rate, the terms. Only then can we chart the proper roadmap. Use a real strategy, not just a popular method. You've probably heard of the avalanche method, the snowball method. They work for some, but they weren't designed specifically for doctors, dentists, and medical professionals. That's why we use something called the cash flow index, a powerful tool that prioritizes payoff strategy based on efficiency, not just emotion or habit. This is especially important if you're also trying to invest while paying off debt. Because let's be honest, corporations are lining up to take your money, and without clarity, they will. Start thinking about retiring in your business. Do not wait until it's too late to think about exiting your practice. My dad sold his practice at age 56, and within just a few years, the financing fell apart and he was in a financial mess. That's what happens when you retire on your business instead of in it. So ask yourself today, how do I structure my business so I can step away gradually? How do I show up one day a week and be happy to be there, mentoring, leading, enjoying my work, without being a slave to the chair? The answer starts by getting out of debt the right way and building your wealth inside a structure you control. Step 4, the engine, quality of life and skill sets. The 4th crucial step is what I call the engine. Let's start with the hard truth. Most dentists, doctors, and medical professionals do not have a high quality of life. They're tired, stressed, physically hurting. mentally exhausted. So before we talk about wealth or retirement, we have to ask, what are you doing to invest in your health, your nutrition, your mindset, and your daily peace? If you burn out, none of the rest matters. That's why this step is about reclaiming quality of life, not someday, but now. The second part of the engine is skill sets, and I don't mean CE courses. You've already got those drilled in your head. I'm talking about what can you add to your practice that increases your value? What new service, specialization, or strategy can increase revenue and margin? Because when you grow your revenue intentionally by adding the right skill sets, you grow your profit, which gives you more control and shortens your time to financial freedom. So this step is about building a life worth living now, while also positioning your practice for growth and optionality. Can I ask you something? What good is financial security if you're too exhausted to enjoy it? Why this step is important. The engine is so important because it's about you, not your practice, not your house, not your car, your boat, your jet ski, the whatever. You are your most valuable asset. If you're not investing in your own health, nutrition, energy, and mental stability, you're setting yourself up for burnout, and no amount of financial planning will save you. If you're tired, bitter, checked out, or physically drained, patients will feel it, your team will feel it, your family will feel it. You won't just lose energy, you'll lose influence, you'll lose momentum, and you'll start resenting the very thing you built. You have to invest in things that keep your energy high. Trainers, nutrition plans, gym routines, health resources, whatever keeps your mind and body sharp. Because without that, you cannot lead your business, your team, or your family the way you want to. The second half is skill sets. You need to invest in things that grow the business, not just CE credits, but value-adding services and strategies that boost revenue and improve margins, because guess what? The number one investment you have is you. Your name is on the door. Your name is probably on the building. So when you grow your skill sets, your revenue and profit grow too. And that gives you more flexibility, more freedom, and more options faster. You're the engine. Take care of the engine. Everything else flows from there. As one of our clients, Dr. Rachel, shared, I used to think I needed to choose between having a thriving practice and a fulfilling personal life. Working with Matt and his team showed me I could have both. Now I do. Actions to take today. Here are 3 specific actions you can take today to begin implementing the engine. Invest in your health today. Yes, you're a dentist, a doctor, a medical professional, but beyond all that, you're a person, a unique person. You need to start treating yourself like your most valuable asset. What are you eating? How are you eating? Are you taking breaks? Are you walking? Are you making space for your mental health? Even if it's as simple as a nap or reading a good book. I'm not talking about running a marathon or lifting like a bodybuilder unless that's what you want to do. I'm talking about small, intentional investments in your energy and peace, because if you are not well, nothing else matters. Level up skill sets that actually improve your practice. CE credits are drilled into you already. You'll do them because you have to. But what else can you explore? What service or system can improve your patient experience? What tool can make your team's lives easier? What leadership skill can strengthen your culture and lift everyone around you? Think creatively about your growth and how it impacts your team, your patients, and your bottom line. Because when you grow yourself and your team, everything else flows from there. Profits will follow when passion and purpose are in alignment. These are things you can start today, not someday, today. Schedule regular time for strategic thinking. Most doctors are so busy doing the work that they never step back to think about the work. Block out 2 hours each month, just you, perhaps with a notebook, to think about where your practice is going, not just where it's been. This simple practice has helped our clients identify opportunities that they would have otherwise missed while reducing the mental load they carry day to day. It took me years to figure out this entire process on my own. If you trace it all the way back to the moment that changed everything, when I had to stop my life, jump on a plane, and fly across the country to find my dad in a hospital room, slumped over in a chair like a kid who'd failed a test, ashamed, exhausted. He looked up and he said, "I didn't want it to be this way." That was the beginning. From that moment until I built and perfected this system, it cost me tens of thousands of dollars, years of trial and error, and countless missed opportunities both in business and in my personal life. I invested in everything I could: consultations, strategy sessions, books, courses, trying to cobble together a plan to save what my dad had worked over 30 years to build. And then I reverse engineered everything he didn't know, everything I wish someone had told us, and built a system that would help other doctors, dentists, and medical professionals avoid that same fate. It wasn't just about learning. It was about finding the right experts, building the right team, and making sure every single person we work with is heard, understood, and supported with a customized plan that protects their wealth, accelerates their debt payoff, and gives them the doctor lifestyle they deserve. It took a long time, but it was worth every second because now we have a system that's dialed in and it works. What took me years to figure out from my father, years of stress, trial and error, and missed opportunities, we can now help our clients achieve in just a matter of weeks. The biggest obstacle we remove is confusion. We eliminate the guesswork around the debt component by showing doctors, dentists, and medical professionals exactly how to accelerate the payoff of their medical school and practice debt. But we do not stop there. We also help them keep more of what they earn and earn more of what they make. And most importantly, we help them do it with certainty, not hope, certainty. This isn't a DIY mess. It's a streamlined, proven system with expert guidance, so our clients do not have to lose years figuring it out the hard way like I did. The offer. My offer is called the Medical Professional Lifestyle System. I'm on a mission to help 1,000 doctors, dentists, and medical professionals achieve financial freedom, own their practice, and be happy with their life. I grew up in a dental household. I saw the struggle, and I built this system so others would not have to go through what my dad did. There are 3 core components that solve the exact problems we've talked about. We eliminate your medical or dental school debt faster using a customized plan based on your real numbers and your real goals. Our average client reduces their projected payoff timeline by 40% or more. We help you keep more of what you earn by optimizing your cash flow, automating your systems, and plugging the financial leaks most professionals do not know they have. This typically adds 15 to 20% to your effective take-home pay without working more hours. We help you earn more of what you make with certainty, not risk. You'll know your plan is working. You'll see it in real time, and you'll sleep better at night knowing you're just not making money, you're building a future. Next steps. If you're a doctor, dentist, or medical professional, and you're ready to eliminate your debt faster and start earning more of what you make and keeping more of what you earn with certainty, here's exactly what to do next. Click the button below to schedule your 100% free strategic assessment with me. The calendar below has just 5 spots available this week. These typically fill quickly because doctors and dentists and medical professionals who understand the value of their time know that this one conversation can literally save them millions over their career. Why should you do this? Because I'm going to listen. I want to understand what's most important to you and find the absolute best position to protect you if things go wrong and help you when even bigger things go right. We have a system that allows you to optimize your income and your savings so you can stop leaking dollars and start building the life you worked so hard for. This isn't generic advice. This is a custom roadmap built specifically for you, the medical professional, the doctor, the dentist, with your story, your numbers, and your future in mind. This story is about me, but really, it's about my family. It's about my dad. He became a dentist after serving in Vietnam, came home in 1970 or 71, and started building his life. He told me, "Matt, I knew how to be a dentist, but I did not know how to be a business owner." He literally skipped rocks in the river, trying to figure things out. He borrowed money, took out loans, and by 1978, he owned his own practice. He was educated. He was a professional. He was hardworking. He was a high-performing dentist, but he did not know what he did not know until it was too late. His dream was to retire at 55. He missed it by 1 year, retired at 56. But a few good years later, the financing on the sale of his practice fell apart, and then everything fell apart. And that's when the weight of it landed on me. That's what I call generational pain. The cost of not having the right plan at the right time in the right order, but that doesn't have to be your story. We've now produced amazing results for many clients. My dad's doing okay. Mom's no longer with us. But that's okay because I've taken the pain, the hard knocks, and the heavy lifting and turned it into something powerful. A system, a blueprint, a turnkey solution for doctors, dentists, and medical professionals who truly care about serving their patients and their communities. And now it's your turn. Let's serve you. Let's build the doctor lifestyle you dreamed of, not just someday, now. And let's make sure you do it your way. A day in the life of a successful member of the medical professional lifestyle system is a day filled with confidence, health, and happiness. They are practicing the profession they love, not out of obligation, but out of passion. They are the dentist in your community, the doctor you trust, the medical professional who finally gets to focus 100% on their craft, their patients, and serving their community, just like it used to be in the old days. They're not buried by stress, not living in fear, not trapped under a mountain of debt. Why? Because their medical or dental school debt is dialed in and wiped out, not in 30 years, but often in just a few years, sometimes faster. They have a plan, they're keeping more of what they earn, they're earning more of what they make with certainty. They own their practice, maybe even multiple practices. They're not just building a business, they're building a legacy, and they're doing it with freedom. They're retiring in their business, not on it. They're not tied to the chair, not grinding until they're 65 or beyond. They've designed a life they actually want to live, and they have the system to support it. We've all seen people like this and thought, how did they pull that off? This is how. And they deserve it because they chose to serve. Doctors, dentists, and medical professionals give their lives to help others. And now it's time someone had a system to help them. That's our mission. That's what we do. And there's no greater calling than making sure that people who care for everyone else finally get taken care of. Final statement. Imagine walking into your practice 5 years from now, not with dread or exhaustion, but with the calm confidence that comes from knowing you're building something sustainable, something that will support you and your family for generations to come. That's the difference between hoping things work out and having a proven system that ensures they will. You graduated dental or medical school, now your journey begins. The sooner you wrap your head, heart, and mind around what's next and work with a team that truly listens, you'll realize that you're the coach and we're the quarterback. You tell us, here's how I want my life to look. That's the end zone, and we will get you there. We'll help you eliminate your debts, keep more of what you earn, and earn more of what you make with certainty. Every doctor's dream is different. Every lifestyle is unique. That's why this system is fully customized and why the first thing we'll always do is listen. We'll design the roadmap specifically for you so you can finally chart your own path and live the doctor lifestyle you've worked so hard for and absolutely deserve. Click the calendar link in the description below to book your strategic assessment call with me. Take action now because your future self, your family, and your patients deserve the best version of you. Don't wait until you're sitting in a hospital room saying, I didn't want it to be this way. Let's make sure it never gets to that point.